Welcome everybody to the first Road 2 of the series. This is the Road to Backlash. We're going to go over all the matchups and show you how we got to where we are today. We have some great matchups on the card. All titles will be defended except for the Women's Championship on the SmackDown side of things. And you'll see why here in a little bit. All the competitors are shown here. We got Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Miz, Daniel Bryan, and Andrade for the IC title. Usos versus Revival for the tag titles. Becky, Lynch, and Kaire Sane for the Raw Women's Championship. John Cena's Open Challenge. Braun Strowman in a handicap match against Harper and Rowan. And the Universal Championship is on the line between Seth Rollins and Sheamus. But we'll start with how we got to Braun Strowman versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in the no DQ handicap match. First week, 3 weeks ago, Strowman down to the ring, coming down for a matchup, and out of nowhere, boom, Harper with a big super kick, big DDT on the ramp, clothesline. Harper and Rowan came down, attacked Strowman, absolutely demolished him, and Strowman was set for one-on-one action, but he never got into that matchup as Harper and Rowan out of nowhere dominating with, look at these vicious moves, but Strowman tried to come back, flips Rowan over, runs at Harper, boom. Staircase right to the face, right to the leg a couple of times. And they absolutely decimated Strowman on that night. But then 2 weeks ago, Strowman coming down the hallway sees Rollins after he talked to Triple H, and he was pissed. Seth Rollins stepped in the face of Strowman. Wasn't a good idea. Strowman, I thought, was gonna lay him out, but Rollins wisely walks away as Strowman talks to Triple H. He tells him he wants Harper and Rowan on that night. Triple H tells him, guess what? They're not here, but I'm going to put you in the main event. If you win, you face Seth Rollins. Strowman agrees and says, I'll face Rollins, and then I'll beat Harper and Rowan down. So in the main event, they set it up. Strowman, Kofi, Sheamus, and Styles. Fatal 4-way. Winner against Rollins. Kicking us off. Big boot. Strowman's dominating this matchup. Absolutely dominating. Throwing Sheamus around. Throwing Styles into the corner. And I thought Strowman was going to win this matchup. Braun Strowman was absolutely dominating. But AJ Styles here getting a little offense on him. And this is where it all turned for the worse. Strowman sent up the ramp. Harper and Rowan catches him. Back to the action in the ring. And this, boom, bro kick is how. Nope. Just kidding. AJ Styles breaks it up. But Harper and Rowan were still up on the ramp, dominating Strowman the entire matchup as Styles showing out with a big jump through the ropes on Kofi. And Harper and Rowan, as they leave, Sheamus hits another bro kick on Kofi Kingston and ends it. Last week, Strowman was pissed, choking out Hunter. Harper and Rowan, out of nowhere, on the monitor, talking about how they're taking out the biggest guy in the yard, pretty much, Braun Strowman. They say, hey, we're going to inflict so much pain on you, and at Backlash, we want you 2-on-1 handicap match. No disqualification. And they were talking about all types of nonsense. Just absolutely, I had no idea what they were talking about. They said demons will rise, monsters will fall. Triple H said, Braun, you have your match. 2-on-1 handicap, no disqualification, but you're going to regret putting your hands on me. That set up this matchup. That's how we got to this 2-on-1 handicap match. Now, the Usos and the Revival. How did we get to this matchup? Well, Tag Team Championship match. they had a triple threat, these two teams and the New Day, 3 weeks ago. And this matchup started out hot. The whole time. Boom, big ending. Boom, big elbow from Woods. New Day were dominating. We thought the Usos might have had it there. Big power slam. Power bomb, excuse me. Big super kick. And these guys were just going at it. Ooh, power bomb by Big E on the outside. Woods throws Wilder onto the ladder. This matchup was exciting right through the ladder. Big E as Usos looking to win it again. Another powerbomb. And now this is where it was interesting. Revival. He's up there for a while. We thought he had it. No. There comes Jimmy Uso to the top. Boom. Big E. Jimmy knock Wilder off the top. Big E with a huge belly to belly. But that distraction was enough for the Usos to capture the tag team championships. Then that takes us to 2 weeks ago. The Revival were pissed. They called out the Usos. The Rock said, wait a minute, you have to face someone else. Heavy Machinery stepped up to the challenge. So Revival and Machinery went at it. Boom. Wilder was dominating this matchup. It was a great matchup. Heavy Machinery held their own, but at the end of the day, Shatter Machine, and it's over. 1, 2, 3, Revival win. The Rock says, okay, I'll give you your opportunity. You get another shot. Then last week, they were a part of the 8-man tag match in the main event, but we'll go over that later on. Then you get John Cena's open challenge. He fought the Velveteen Dream 3 weeks ago and EC3 2 weeks ago. Last week, he wasn't there. Backlash, open challenge returns. This triple threat Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz, Andrade, and Daniel Bryan. We're going to show you how we got there, as 2 weeks ago, The Miz made his debut on Friday Night SmackDown as he had nothing. Look here, he was drafted 20th overall. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson didn't have him booked for the week prior, and The Miz was baiting anyone to come out. He says, I'm the IC champ, I'm the greatest of all time. Somebody come fight me. Nobody has the guts. And lo and behold, Andrade steps up to the plate, steps up to the challenge. And he's coming out thinking, this is my opportunity. I'm going to win the IC title. I'm going to beat down The Miz. But out of nowhere, The Miz had a plan. Out of nowhere, Lars Sullivan, boom, takes out Andrade. In the ring, freak accident. Boom. And they were dominating Andrade as Miz finds another lackey to do his dirty work for him. Andrade rode out of the ring, and skull-crushing finale. And out of nowhere, Daniel Bryan runs down to the ring. Miz and Lars waiting. Boom. Lars doesn't go down. Bryan takes the Miz down with a running elbow. Lars counters Daniel Bryan, and they start going to work. But Daniel Bryan isn't going to go down that easy. Massive elbow to Miz. Knocks Lars off the apron. And Daniel Bryan came to fight this night, as him and The Miz have had history. Oh, man. Running knees in the corner to Miz. This rivalry goes back years. More running knees. And as he hits this last running knee, Lars Sullivan sneaks in the ring. Freak accident. Bam. The Rock says, wait a minute. You guys want to fight? Okay. Next week. Here's the thing. 2-on-2. He puts it Andrade and Daniel Bryan versus Miz and Lars. If Daniel Bryan and Andrade win the matchup, it's going to be a triple threat match at Backlash. if Miz wins, he doesn't have to defend his title at Backlash. That brought us to last week, as Miz tags Lars in every opportunity he gets. Lars absolutely dominated a lot of this matchup, as you see here, just tossing Andrade around for a while. And Miz played scared. Miz tagged out early. Lars, with all these slams and backbreakers to Andrade, tags Miz in, double team back body drop, but Andrade counters. Running, sliding drop kick, tags in Daniel Bryan. Bryan starts going to work on Miz, and massive elbow. This matchup was an amazing matchup. It lasted over 20 minutes on the last SmackDown. And as soon as Miz gets an open opportunity, he tags Lars right back in, and Lars goes to work on Daniel Bryan, pounding his face, throwing Daniel Bryan around. Daniel's going for the tag, crawling to the corner. Lars puts an end to that with this massive facepalm slam. And then he was going for a freak accident. Daniel Bryan counters the freak accident. Elbow, forearm, knocked down to the ground, knocks the Miz, punches the Miz, then throws him into the ring with a suplex. Took his eyes off the prize there, so Lars Sullivan takes advantage at that point, throwing Daniel Bryan outside the ring. Freak accident to Daniel Bryan on the outside of the ring. And then he just starts going to work. Daniel Bryan's face first to the ring post. That looks nasty. Power bomb. Boom. To Bryan. But then he gets the Miz back in the ring. Daniel Bryan gets back on top. As soon as the Miz came in, Daniel Bryan started taking over with that nice little drop kick. And he gets Andrade back into the ring. Andrade, over the top rope, takes Miz down. So they have absolutely been dominated by Lars, and Andrade decides, I'm not letting Miz get you back in the ring. Look at this. Boom! It was a backbreaker, but Lars' head bounces off the steel steps. Andrade stops Miz from getting to the corner with a massive elbow, but look, finds the opening. Lars is back in the matchup. Miz ran scared this entire time, and Lars Sullivan went to work again, this time on Andrade, tossing him around. And this, counter. Andrade with a nice counter, and Andrade and Daniel Bryan are back in control just like that. Hopefully it lasts, but as Andrade knees Lars into the I like this. I like that move by Andrade. And Lars Sullivan finally showing signs, some weakness. And oh man, what a dive. And a sunset flip. And he tried to get the win here, but Miz and Lars both break it up. And Miz is not the legal man. Hammerlock DDT, and Lars Sullivan takes advantage of Andrade taking his eyes off of him. As Lars and Daniel Bryan went at it, Daniel Bryan with a nice drop kick. And then this double team move, they're going to go for a double back elbow. And Daniel Bryan looking for the submission victory. And Miz sneaks into the ring and breaks it up. This matchup was phenomenal. It went on for a long time. It was a great 20-plus minute matchup. And then Lars is going to work again. Just like that. But tags in the Miz. Miz trying to take advantage of the injured Bryan and Andrade at this point. Both severely beaten down. And Miz off the top rope with an elbow. Going for the win here against Daniel Bryan. And Andrade breaks it up at 2. And now Daniel Bryan in control with a double underhook suplex. And Andrade comes right back into the ring with a nice Hurricane Rana, sets him up. And then knocks Lars off the apron. And he's going for, what's he doing here? It looks like a power bomb. And Andrade hits the power bomb. Goes for another, but Miz counters with some rights to the face of Andrade. Goes right back to Lars Sullivan. Right back to him. And takes down Andrade. Takes Daniel Bryan off the apron. And he goes to work again. Lars Sullivan dominated most of this matchup. And Miz ran scared. And that was not enough as Andrade kicked out. And Lars finally gets countered here by Andrade. And Andrade was throwing slaps, chops, everything he could. And then look at the strength of Andrade with a big suplex and a punch to the Miz, and he brings him in with a DDT through the ropes, and now he's going to work on Lars in the corner as Miz lays on the outside, slapping, chomping, doing whatever he can to take this monster down. And leg drop over the top rope. Lars gets hung up on the bottom, throws Miz into the steps. Back to the action. Lars finally gets a tag to Miz. Double team work again. And Lars Sullivan gets Miz in the ring. Looks like he's going for the skull-crushing finale, but Andrade counters. Great counter by Andrade. And he is finally in charge of this matchup as he knocks Lars off the apron and Miz knocks Daniel Bryan off the apron. But it gives Andrade enough time to hit that clothesline to the back of the head. And then, boom. Hammer, lock, DDT. Andrade and Daniel Bryan go to Backlash. So as they're celebrating, Lars Sullivan, out of nowhere, hits Daniel Bryan. And then a freak accident to Andrade. As Miz gets back in the ring and they are going to town. Freak accident on the outside of Bryan. And Miz with a skull-crushing finale to Andrade inside the ring. But then Lars Sullivan turns on the Miz with a freak accident. So that's how we got to this triple threat match. I don't know where Lars comes into play anymore because he turned his back on the Miz. And this is going to be an entertaining matchup. And on the Raw side of things, the Universal Championship match. We got there 2 weeks ago is when we found out Sheamus was the number one contender. But this is in the Fatal 4-Way that Braun Strowman was attacked by Harper and Rowan. This is the finish, as we saw earlier. Sheamus pins Kofi Kingston. And then after that matchup, as soon as he won, Seth Rollins out of nowhere with a dropkick. Rollins looking to take advantage of his Backlash opponent, but boom, big clothesline. Sheamus isn't going to let Rollins do whatever he wants to him and throws him off the ropes and hits this nasty brogue kick. But then last week, they're backstage, they signed their contracts. Signed the Backlash contracts, and they were going face to face, exchanging words, and it looked like here that Sheamus, I believe, yeah, he was going to go for a brogue kick. He's taunting Rollins here, telling him, "I'm going to take your title at Backlash." And he goes for the brogue, misses. Rollins ducks under it, kicks to the back of the hamstring there, roll through, boom. Nasty super kick. Takes out Sheamus to end the show. And now, that's how we got to this Universal Championship matchup. The Raw Women's Championship. There was a lot to get here. there was a lot going on in this, and it all started 3 weeks ago. Dana Brooke, backstage with Becky Lynch, she walks by and says, "You're not much of a champion." Now, this is the man. This is Becky Lynch. She says, "Meet me in the ring. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to make you tap out." Well, Dana Brooke started strong. Nice neck breaker. And goes for the pinfall, but Becky Lynch kicks out, of course. Maybe a 1 count, I believe. Then Becky gets in control. Nice drop kick, picks her up, another drop kick. And then off the top rope, takes her out with a 3rd drop kick, and then this back body drop there. Electric chair, I'm sorry. And then she made her tap. Just like she said, "I'm going to make you tap." Boom, done. It's easy. Easy for her. So then after the matchup, Sasha and Bayley came down to the ring. And they were telling Becky, "Hey, come on. Dana Brooke barely even got drafted. What are you picking on her for?" So Triple H said, "Wait a second. Sasha and Bayley, I got an idea. Next week, you both have matches. Winner of that faces the following week to determine the number 1 contender." And, Sasha and Bayley were happy about that. So they decided not to go after Becky Lynch here. Went backstage as Becky Lynch celebrated her victory. And then that took us to those 2 matches. Sasha Banks going against Alexa Bliss 2 weeks ago. Now, this was a huge opportunity for all of these women. And Alexa Bliss has won plenty of championships in the WWE. So her and Sasha had a great matchup, and it looked like Bliss could have had it. She hit that nice drop kick. Sasha finally took control, and she didn't look back. Sasha Banks took over this matchup. Bank statement, and she made Alexa Bliss tap. That was huge for Sasha Banks. Then later in the night, Bayley. We didn't know who she was going to face. We didn't know who Sasha was going to face either. Bayley makes her way down to the ring, and here comes Kaire Sane. She was not eligible to be drafted as she was still considered NXT. This was a great matchup, but Kaire Sane dominated a lot of it. She misses in the corner. Bayley ducks out of the way, hits a nice Hurricane Rana. I thought Bayley was going to win it after a couple of moves there. Right here, this move by Bayley tosses Kaire out, jumps under the ropes by the ring post with a sliding drop kick. Very impressive, but Kaire Sane counters in the ring, gets Bayley down on the ground with a couple of moves, and Kaire Sane goes to the top, and insane elbow coming your way, and it is all over. Kaire Sane pins Bayley, which was very shocking. So Sasha Banks is going to go face Kaire Sane. But before that matchup last week, Bayley and Sasha are in the back. Bayley was talking how she wanted to be in the matchup with Sasha this week. Sasha said, "You couldn't even beat a new girl. How could, you wouldn't have been able to beat me." So Sasha Banks was talking smack to Bayley. Bayley, she was kind of, she was getting a little frustrated. She didn't understand why Sasha was being kind of a jerk. So Sasha Banks said, "I'm going to go get ready for my match. I got to face Kaire Sane." So as she's walking out there to get ready for this matchup, Bayley had something clicked in Bayley's head, or snapped, I should say. Runs out, drop kick to Sasha Banks, throws her into the table, and then a nasty, face first through the table went Sasha. Later on, she's heading down to the ring. Just went through a table. And Kaire Sane coming down, and this matchup I expected it to still be a great matchup. And Kaire Sane with an Alabama slam. Sasha Banks with a nasty DDT on the apron. Sane. Double foot stomps. And then this amazing maneuver and a clothesline. And then another double stomp. But then Sasha Banks with a nice rope-assisted neck breaker. Another Alabama slam. I believe she hit 3 in the matchup. And then this move right here, I thought it was over. I thought she surprised everyone. And Sasha Banks kicks out at 2.5. Spinning her around, making her dizzy. And folks, remember, she went through a table not too long before that. Misses going for the double stomps again. Banks statement. It's over, right? Everyone thinks it's over. Sasha Banks puts on the Banks statement. And we think Kaire Sane's about to tap. She rolls through. 1, 2, and no. Sasha Banks, last second, kicks out. A couple of slaps a little later on. And guess what? Banks statement. You're not getting out of it twice. You're not getting out of the Banks statement twice. We think Sasha Banks is moving on here. And Kaire Sane does the impossible. Well, we thought impossible because she rolls her through again. Same way it happened earlier. 3 count. Kaire Sane moves on. And then after the match, her and Becky Lynch go face to face at the top of the ramp. They're talking shit to each other. And then from out of absolutely nowhere, nobody saw this coming. Earlier in the night, Bayley put Banks through a table. Here comes Bayley. Over the barricade from the crowd. Banks just still trying to get up from that loss she just took. Bayley tosses her into some steps. And then look at this, folks. This is nasty. This is one of the nastiest things I've seen. Boom! Oh my God. Belly to belly. Banks, her head bounces off the steel steps. Bayley hits another one. And as she's walking past Kaire Sane and Becky Lynch, she says, "What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do?" And then we went off the air. And that's how we got to Kaire Sane and Becky Lynch. Kaire Sane defeated Bayley, then defeated Sasha Banks. And this is going to be a hell of a matchup for the Women's Championship on the Raw side of things. But the main event of Backlash. The main event, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens looking to get that WWE Championship back around his waist. And this was a wild ride. 3 weeks ago, Ricochet, Kevin Owens, both had matches. Winner of these 2 matches faced the week after. This is how The Rock started it out. 3 weeks ago, Randy Orton and Ricochet going at it. And Randy Orton starting off taunting, gets Ricochet to do some taunts himself, and Randy Orton, the veteran he is, was baiting Ricochet. Randy Orton, dominated for a while, and look at these moves. I mean, Randy Orton was on fire. Absolutely on fire most of this matchup. And then Ricochet finally, after this huge avalanche suplex, Ricochet finally takes control with a big pump kick to the face. This nice rope-assisted drop kick. Just a standing moonsault. And then, boom. Look at the moves of Ricochet. I can't even keep up with this guy. But Orton takes control again. Suplex on the outside. And then, as Michael Cole would say, vintage Randy Orton with this nasty DDT. And Orton's going for the RKO. We think it's all over. No, Ricochet counters. And look at the Hurricane Rana. Ricochet up to the top rope seamlessly with the 630. And he is going to move on to next week. So, Ricochet wins. we're still 3 weeks ago. Kevin Owens. Who's he taking on? Ali. Kevin Owens and Ali going at it. Winner takes on Ricochet. Kevin Owens with a shoulder tackle. Kevin Owens with an avalanche suplex of his own. Randy Orton had one of these earlier in the night. And then KO with a super kick to Ali. Tried to end it there. Ali wasn't having any of it. Stayed in the matchup. Nice spinning back heel kick. Kevin Owens, this move right there, that was an impressive move. And then Ali reverses into the corner. And then, boom. Ali's setting him up as he goes to the top rope and hits a nice leg drop on KO. He thinks he's got this one. 1, 2, no. Kevin Owens remains in this matchup. Ali over the top rope. And this was a fast-paced, hard-hitting matchup. KO from the top rope. Boom. And Ali gets Kevin Owens with this nasty sunset powerbomb. And then a Spanish fly. And I thought it was over. Kevin Owens gets back in control, goes for the stunner. Ali counters the stunner. Kevin Owens counters an Ali hit. Super kick to the face. And then Kevin Owens, man, he is an impressive man. Look at that. Look at that move. And then Kevin Owens here hits what we all know as the Stone Cold Stunner and ends Ali's chances. That brings us to 2 weeks ago. Kevin Owens and Ricochet. The winner takes on Reigns at Backlash. And Ricochet get this DDT right here. Nasty DDT through the ropes by Kevin Owens. And then look at this. This was impressive. Death Valley driver. That was awesome. And Ricochet with his nice DDT. And then he hits a nasty DDT again on the outside on the apron. Over the top rope. Off the top rope. Ricochet, absolutely phenomenal. Fluid. Everything is so seamless. He looks amazing. Kevin Owens hits another one of those DDTs off the ropes. And then Ricochet hits the 630 on the outside of the ring. Tosses Kevin Owens back in the ring, but wait a minute. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens' long-time best friend, drop kick. Kevin Owens was talking to the referee. Sami Zayn throws Ricochet back into the ring. And just like that, Ricochet done with a stunner. And just like that, folks. So Kevin Owens is moving on. But wait, right after the matchup ends, Sami Zayn gets speared by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hits a crossbody on KO. Spear to KO. And then here comes the Revival. Here come the Usos. They'll go at it at Backlash. And the ring filled up with superstars. 8 men in the ring. All have beef with each other. Kevin Owens, stunner on Jey Uso. Roman Reigns gets hit with this nasty suplex from the top rope to the outside by Wilder. Ricochet with a massive dropkick to Sami Zayn. And that brought us to last week. The Rock says, we're setting it up. Revival, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus the Usos, Ricochet, and Roman Reigns. Roman was pissed. He didn't want Ricochet on his team. We don't need Ricochet. We don't want him out there messing it up for us. The Rock says, wait, I don't know if you remember this, but I'm the guy in charge. This is the matchup we're going with, and that's how it's going to be. Roman walks out. He says, okay, I understand. At least we thought that's what he meant. So this matchup, 8-man tag, huge matchup in the main event. And it starts off Sami Zayn and Ricochet. And Sami starts off with an impressive Falcon Arrow type maneuver, pump kick by Ricochet. This match Ricochet tags in, I believe it's Jay? Yeah, that is Jay Uso. And Jay Uso's in the match for maybe 20 seconds. The extent of his offense was shown right there. All of that was his offense. Tags Ricochet back into the matchup. And a little double team maneuver here as Ricochet starts to take over again. So Ricochet hits this beautiful backflip. But, no wait, actually Sami Zayn countered, I'm sorry. Roman Reigns goes to the other side here. Drop kick by Sami Zayn. Now he hits a standing moonsault. Roman Reigns gets out of the ring. And then both Usos join him. And these three men watch the rest of this matchup from the outside. And Ricochet hits this over the top rope flip to, I believe that was Wilder. And Sami Zayn takes control of Ricochet. Ugh, that exploder. And then a code breaker from Ricochet. Code breaker on Wilder. And we think that's it. But no, it's not it. 2 count. So this matchup is pretty much Ricochet versus 4 men. He hits that cutter, and Roman Reigns, as we went to commercial break, sent the Usos to the back. And Kevin Owens hits this pop-up powerbomb, and we thought they might be over. But Ricochet stays in the matchup after being absolutely dominated for a little while. Then he takes over. Pele kick. And Ricochet is on fire. 6:30. Is that it? Kevin Owens, #1 contender, about to be pinned by the man he beat last week? No. Stays in it. Ricochet over the top rope. Boom. But then they get in Wilder, and it's over. As Roman Reigns on the outside tried to pick a fight with KO, and we went off air. So we aren't sure what happened there. But that's your WWE Championship matchup. Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. So that will do it for this Road 2 episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to check out the Backlash pay-per-view. It'll be coming up in 3 different sections over the next week or so. And thank you again. We'll catch you next time.